So over the past couple months, I've been getting some questions about what gear I use, what pedals I use exactly, how do I get that tone exactly on a specific song, etc., etc. I've even got some people asking for how I got the tone on my own stuff, like Ransom specifically. And some people are super experienced, they know their gear, they're just asking me what I was using to see if they can maybe get that same flavor. Maybe I had something unique going on there. And then there's some people that are just kind of new to it all and are looking for some advice on what pedal to get, or they're not happy with their sound, or they're not happy with their amp. And I totally love those questions too. I just wanted to show, I guess, my process here, which typically I don't really tone chase. I kind of just pick things that I think are cool, or sometimes I'm just lazy and pick the closest thing to me. But for example, I love this board. This is my Earthquaker pretty much only board. I have a Pigtronics tuner, but otherwise it's a Hoof, Plumes, Dispatch Master, and what is this? Space Spiral delay. I use this when we play live here. I used it just in December recently. But at the same time, while I love that board, I would just as happily use this Zoom G1 X4 pedal, which pretty much looks like a toy. The point is, I think you can get really great tones no matter what you're using. Whether you're using an Earthquaker Devices only board that's probably got 5 pedals that were each $200, or if you're using a multi-effects like this Zoom, which was less than $100 when I got it used, I think you can make great sounds. So this is kind of more aimed at the like novice and more inexperienced people that don't know a whole lot about gear. If you do know a lot about gear, then please stick around. I think this will be interesting and hopefully entertaining regardless, but it's mainly focused at those people. Because a lot of the times these people have asked me, what amp do you use, or I need to get that amp, what amp do you have, what pedals do you have, and then I tell them, but then I ask them, what do you have? And they end up telling me they have something pretty darn good. Like, it's not by any means bad. And I just want to show that you can get the sounds that I'm getting, or very close, with the gear you already have. And I know I catch myself staring at way too many Guitar Center, Sweetwater, Musician Friend website pages too often, dreaming about different pedals and stuff I want. I just made a video about my JCM 2000 and how I was trying to get it closer to the JCM 800 sound. I had a month there where I was seriously considering selling a bunch of stuff in order to save up and buy a JCM 800. I kind of warded that off successfully, and time will tell if I'm totally successful at that, but I just want to use what I have. I know that it's not going to be that big of a difference. Sure, it's going to sound different, but if my JCM 2000 was $700 or something like that, is it really going to sound 3-4 times better if I buy I don't even know how much a JCM 800 costs now. Is it almost $3,000? 2000 something. I'm sure if you get an old vintage one, you're paying $2,500. The point is it going to be that big of a difference? So today, I thought I'd try and take the worst gear I have. And when I say worst, I don't mean I think it's terrible. I'm taking the, quote, worst gear I have, the cheapest, most budget gear I have, an amp with a 6-inch speaker, a Epiphone Les Paul SL model, I believe. And this went up in price. Now it's about $180 new. When I got this in 2021, I want to say, I got it new for $119 in California, of all places. And these pedals, which 2 of them are $17 K-Mize pedals, which are as cheap as it gets on Amazon. I think they went up. They're like $19 now. But when I got them, they were about $17.49 each. This Fab Fuzz, which cost $20 at a used local guitar store when I got it. I think they went up in price for a little bit, but they dropped back down. this Behringer delay and Behringer digital reverb. You can't get the delay anymore, so after recording that, I'm realizing it's not the best example because it's no longer $20. They're going for like $45 used, I think, but mentally replace that with the K-Mize analog delay, because I've had that pedal for 17 or under 20 bucks, and I love that pedal. It sounds fantastic. I gave it to Mitch, my guitar player in Threaded. And then the digital reverb, which reverbs are the most, I find, or at least the most expensive pedals. If you want them to sound good, you need to go up to like $35 and up range. That digital reverb you can get any day of the week new for $39.99 from Sweetwater. So anyway, got the Absolute Beginner guitar, the Epiphone SL, an Absolute Beginner Rage, PV Rage practice amp with a 6-inch speaker. Very small, normally I think 8 inches where these practice amps start, but it's even smaller than that, 6-inch. And then this pedal board, which if each one's about 20, 40, 60, about $120 of pedals, maybe, something like that. You can get cheaper. I would honestly advise you to just get each one of these, the K-Mize mini pedal series, if you were starting out and didn't know what you liked, just to get your feet wet. I'd get a modulation, in my case a chorus, an overdrive, which I have the K-Mize Ultimate Drive. I would get a fuzz of some sort if there's a K-Mize fuzz. If not, I would get the Crunch one that's blue, which I think is a Rat. And then I would get the analog delay, probably, by K-Mize. And then digital reverb, or any reverb, you're kind of stuck getting a $40 price range reverb. So maybe the K-Line Snakebite reverb, and then you do even better than I'm doing right here. Practice amp wise, this amp was $50, so it's going to be as good or worse than anything pretty much out there. Maybe not the Fender Frontman 20. That might be a little worse than this PV Rage. But anyway, I'm going to just play some riffs here, and I'm going to get my second camera to look at the pedals best I can and just give you a couple sounds here. You already heard it at the beginning of the video, but I'm just going to go through some riffs, play with some different pedal settings, and let you all hear how this sounds on its own, because I think that's another point I want to prove, which is guitar and amp by itself doesn't sound anywhere near as cool as when it's in a mix and it's like double tracks. So a lot of the times people are playing along at home and they're like, man, that guitar sounds ridiculous, it sounds huge. Well, they might have double tracked the guitars, they might have quad tracked the guitars. There's so much going on. Just having bass guitar under your guitar alone makes it huge. So consider that too. The drums, the bass, quad tracking, doing multiple takes of different things, layering your guitars, having someone play lower chords while someone's playing the same chords in an inverted higher shape. It all comes together and just totally makes the sound huge. So that's something to keep in mind. There are no guitar stores that's going to sell you a guitar and a guitar amp that sounds like a studio record that is being heard, first of all, through a microphone into the recording desk, double tracked, all that stuff. So I think you need to give your gear some credit. I think everyone has a lot better gear than they think. And anyway, thank you for watching.